This is DG Vision Network.
Hello everyone, welcome to another interesting edition of DG Vision Network with Barry Agabi. To stay informed in issues with ICT, business, lifestyle and innovation, your only choice is to stay logged on to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/DGVisionNetwork, or you go to our website at www.dgvisionnetwork.com, or better still, you join us on all our social media handles displayed on your screen.
This is DG Vision Network.
On today's show, we have a special report on Twitter ban and the suspension by the federal government after 7 months, and most especially how Nigerians are reacting to this. Interview with Honorable Sahad Lukman Olumo, who is going to talk to us about the benefit of public-private partnership and how it brings development to the state. These and many more you should watch out for on the show today. But before all that, let's go see what is trending in the past week.
The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, says he has secured the approval of 25 billion naira for the National Identity Management Commission for infrastructure upgrade. He disclosed this during a one-day walk-in visit and interaction with staff of the Nigerian Communications Satellite in Abuja. He applauded the achievements of NIMC since the inception of the National Identity Card to 2020 when he assumed supervision of the Commission, citing the increase in annual enrollment of the National Identity Number to around 30 million between October 2020 to December 2021 using the obsolete infrastructure.
Gathered here are the who is who and top policy makers in the Nigerian digital ecosystem. The dignitaries include the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, the Head of Service of Nigeria, Dr. Folashade Yemieson, the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, Professor Umar Gabadambata, Director Generals of the National Information Technology Development Agency, Kashifu Inua Abdullahi, the Director General of the National Identity Management Commission, Engineer Aliu Aziz, among others. The setting is at the Public Service Institute, Kubwa, in the Nigerian Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The occasion is the award ceremony of the e-government champions training for public servants from various ministries, departments, and agencies aimed at service-wide capacity building program on e-government. The event is part of efforts to ensure the effective implementation of the nation's e-government master plan of the federal government under the supervision of the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy to train civil servants drawn from various MDAs across the nation. The minister maintained that the civil servants were key drivers in the implementation of master plan of the digital economy, hence the need to train the government workforce for a smooth transition to e-government implementation. He added that the program was part of the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari GCFR during the unveiling of the Digital Economy National Master Plan and Strategy that e-government center be made to provide capacity building components of e-government for the implementation of service delivery.
For the champions, we are not only here for you to graduate and go back home and sleep, but rather it is a train-the-trainer program where all of you are expected to go back to your institutions and see how you can coordinate the training of others, particularly on government digital services and e-government. Whenever you need our intervention to improve on the training, the relevant institutions of government under the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, particularly NITDA, Galaxy, and NCC, will be directed to provide whatever you need in order to sustain your training.
To this effect, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, had inaugurated a governing committee to oversee the affairs of e-government training center, with membership cutting across the ministries and agencies under the supervision of his office.
In December 2019, I inaugurated a committee with the responsibility of managing this center and also organizing training for our government officials and all civil servants of the Federation, at least in batches. However, we are not planning to train each and everyone, but our plan is to train selected officials that will go and train others in their institutions. That committee is being chaired by the DG NIDA and being co-chaired by the MD Galaxy Backbone. So far, so good. And I want to use the opportunity to commend their effort.
Underscoring the need to improve capacities for e-government implementation, the head of service, Dr. Folashade Yemi Eson, maintained that digital technologies have brought about unprecedented opportunities to serve and deliver government services with efficiency.
And so that is why this training and capacity building program is very, very apt. Because if we're doing all these things and the personnel to man the process do not know what to do, then it will be a very futile journey that we have embarked on. And so once again, Honorable Minister, thank you very, very much for this training program. It will go a long way in assisting us in achieving our joint dreams.
The head of service praised the efforts of the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy with the support of the agencies under his supervision. The Chief Executive Officer of the Public Service Institute, Dr. Abdul Ganiu Obatoyibo, expressed gratitude for the cooperation of all towards the success of the training, which he said will help achieve a vibrant digital economy by building the capacities of civil servants that drive and provide services to citizens and implement the e-government master plan.
I have a message for the champions. I think it's important for you to know the strategic role that you stand to play in this country now. There is a silent revolution. And Honorable Minister, I have to thank you especially for being on this driver's seat. All over the world, there's a lot of problems now. And apparently, what seems like the solution is digitalization. And that's why I always describe the head of service as a genius. Because the current strategic plan of FCIP, the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan, all hang on digitalization. So, Honorable Minister, you can see why there seems to be a very strong chemistry. I mean, always between you and the head of service, because you keep thinking the same way. And that gives us hope.
So I think transforming governance, the key to successful transformation of governance is transforming the civil service. And I'm sure it is out of this recognition that the Honorable Minister, in his wisdom, decided to introduce this important capacity building program. And by extension, also the civil service are the managers of the key services sectors of the economy. All the various ministries, finance, education, communications, and so on and so forth.
I'm super excited to be here with you this afternoon to witness this closing ceremony of the champions of e-government training. I will never forget this journey started on the 28th November 2019 when President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, directed the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy to use this center for building capacity of civil servants during the official unveiling of the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy for Digital Nigeria. Because you are the engine room of the government, and if the government really wants to transform, the civil service need to be transformed. And when you talk about transformation, it's not just about technology. You need the people that will use the technology. No matter how good the technology is, if you don't have the people that can use it or a proper process in place, you won't get value from the technology.
Some of the participants who excelled with exceptional performance were given outstanding recognitions with the aim of further encouraging them. Hilary Damisa, reporting for DigiVision Network.
Unemployment rate in Nigeria, according to the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, hit a record high of 33.3% in the fourth quarter of 2020. To contribute its own quota of easing the burden on the government, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Ikeja branch, and Get Job organized a job and career fair on Saturday, the 15th of January 2022 for the unemployed, with about 1,000 job seekers in attendance. The fair had about 12 blue-chip companies supporting it with scores of vacancy and openings, and HR personnel to rightly advise the applicants on what to do in securing jobs from such organizations, with some conducting live interviews for worthy candidates. According to Engineer Tosin Ogumola, Chairman NSC Ikeja branch, who emphasized the importance of the fair and why it's coming at this time.
Also, this event for us is very important, and that is why it is the first event for us in the year 2022. And we strategically fixed this for this period of the year, so indeed we can all, go into the year on a very strong note. And that is actually the reason why we have put up an event like this.
Recruiters, facilitators, mentors, and resourceful personalities such as Mr. Bayomi Ali, Manufacturing Director, Unilever PLC, Mrs. Taiwo Dayo Abaton, Group Head, Human Capital Development, Primera African Finance Company, Bimbo Oloyede, CEO, Strictly Speaking, and others took turns to enlighten the attendees on values, ethics, and other vital attributes needed to get a good job and maintain it.
Stop lamenting. Start thinking strategically. Do a personal SWOT analysis. Just write down what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your opportunities, what are your threats. And those things that you think are weaknesses and threats, find a way to turn them around to your advantage.
I want to say that your education is only the beginning. Your education, your university education, your polytechnic is only the beginning. That is not the end of learning. We must continue to learn, and learn.
I have a passion for self-development. And what I've come here today is not just to seek jobs, it's also to develop yourselves towards better jobs.
The convener and president of GetJob.com, Engineer Bamidele Idris, also said a lot about the event and the solution it brings.
The ones I know, we have about 6 job successes on the spot, and that's the beauty. And so many others have been called for interview. So if you multiply those 6 lives by their dependents, it tells you the impact. And not only about jobs, it's also about the knowledge being shared. We had a lot of speakers from UK, we had speakers from Canada, we had speakers from the United States join us. We had a veteran journalist, Mrs. Bimbo Oloyede. So it's been awesome. And I'm sure that the participant that came here will never go back the same. And that's the beauty.
With continuous efforts from every stakeholder in the polity, this high unemployment rate can be seriously reduced before it becomes another unsurmountable hurdle in Nigeria. For over 7 months, Twitter has been on ban in Nigeria until last week when it was lifted by the federal government again. What we lost as individuals and as a nation. In this special report, you will get to see and know exactly what Nigerians paid for the Twitter ban and how they react to it.
On the 13th of January 2022, the federal government of Nigeria lifted the ban against Twitter's operations in Nigeria after the social network agreed to various conditions. This was after 222 days or 7 months of the ban. Twitter will establish a legal entity in Nigeria during the first quarter of 2022 and appoint a country representative to engage with the government when required, according to the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA. It further revealed that Twitter will also enroll Nigeria in its partner support law enforcement portals, which gives police tools to request and retain data on users. As expected, this lead generated mixed reactions and controversies as Nigerians pondered the true intentions of the federal government, whether or not this is a victory for the nation, and the implication of Twitter having a physical office in Nigeria.
First, I think it's good to say that it is good the ban has been lifted. No matter any other name it's called, it's all good. The most important thing is that Nigerians that depend on Twitter as a platform for either their business or as a means of socializing, they now have access to that platform in addition to the others that still exist. So it is a welcome development, and I'm personally happy that we've been able to make progress on this.
I think that a country that loses over 500 billion naira, covering over 222 days, is a country that should begin to think how we should put more money in its own pocket rather than lose money. I must say that the federal government doesn't appear to understand the implication of some of the actions it takes. There are two key issues here. The first is the fundamental rights of people to express themselves. And the second is the economic implication for businesses that are online that need some kind of, leveraging by people who perhaps would see the things they do. Some people's works are virtually, online, and Twitter is a place for them to get things done. So I think that the government doesn't quite understand doing what I'll call self-diagnosis.
They already have an office in Ghana, which is their African office. So the headquarters for Africa is already in Ghana. So they already have operations. So they will have some sort of a skeletal setup in Nigeria, probably work out of a shared office of some sort, so that they just have a Lagos head, and the person will just, I honestly believe the person will be charged with business development in terms of trying to get more revenue for Twitter rather than the other way around. But I don't. So I get why the Nigerian government is keen to have Twitter registered in Nigeria, because they believe that Twitter is making a lot of revenue from Nigerians. So having an office in Nigeria means that Nigerian government can tax Twitter, and we've already spoken about that in extensive conversation. So to the economy, the only thing I think we'll be getting is that revenue in terms of taxes, but it's also not something significant.
I think I would rather say let's look on the bright side. At least if they come here, that means we have job opportunities for especially those digital people. So let's look at it as more job opportunities for persons. Maybe the government didn't look at that point, but let's be happy that they've come around to create job opportunities.
I'm excited when I heard about the news that the ban has been lifted, because when you looked at it initially, banning it wasn't the reason why they banned it, according to the government, was not reasonable to me, because they actually banned it because of the fact that they deleted the president's statement or whatever from their thing. But if they will have banned it because of other reasons, like, okay, we want to be able to monitor them before the incident, we will have said, okay, the reasons were okay.
I, for one, I could say it's for political reasons, because this is called social media. It's none of their business. in the what's it called, in the foreign world, the government doesn't meant to even tamper with anything so-called social media. It's called social media, not government media.
Now that Twitter is back, Nigerians who leverage on the microblogging site can expect to once again take full advantage of the platform as the federal government seeks to tighten regulations guiding their operations.
Hello, I am Bayero Agabi, welcoming you to this new ride, a digital ride that takes you into the lifestyle experience of innovation, tech impact, and new business frontiers. This is DG Vision Network. On a weekly basis, we keep you well informed of developments and trends. Now the tech ecosystem is impacting politics, business, public and private enterprise management, plus how the new digital life can transform your business. I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
Public-private partnership is needed by all governments from all nations to develop. Today we have in our special interview with Honorable Sir Ad Lukman, who talks to us about the benefits of PPP, that is the public-private partnership, and how the people can benefit from it, plus other related matters. Enjoy the conversation.
This is DG Vision Network.
Let us go to the main topic of discussion today, that is on public-private partnerships, how it can help develop a particular place, judging from your experience, firstly as a finance expert and also as the chairman of the committee of public-private partnership. The first thing is, to a layman, I don't even know what this means. So what is public-private partnership?
Thank you very much. Like you said, women's wants are unlimited. But the means of satisfying your wants is very limited. Therefore, there is need for us to take in what we call opportunity or alternative for gone in the economic balance. I've gone that way because today, government is saddled with a lot of responsibilities that demands for money. And the means of satisfying this responsibility, especially for Lagos, is not as enormous as the demand that we have. Today, Lagos has a minimum population of over 22 million people residing in Lagos. We have not talked of those people that migrate in and out on a daily basis. So you can imagine the pressure that will come on our infrastructures and other things that has to do with Lagos. Therefore, there is need for us to have private sector investment in the public sector. And that is what PPP is all about. When you bring monies, investment of people in the private sector, right? You bring it into government to participate in developing infrastructure, to participate in development of human capital itself. So, in a nutshell, PPP means the relationship between public, that is the government, and the private sector who intends to bring in their money for investment purpose, make profits on this investment, and provide employment, provide infrastructure, and whatever within the context of which that particular transaction is meant for. So to a layman, is bringing money from the private sector, investing in the public sector, making your money, and and everybody's happy.
Okay, so now, so first of all, how would you rate the performance of Lagos State in that area?
Well, I said earlier, there is always a peace sector. I should have just started this one. He saw the need for private people to come in and develop Lagos because we can't do it all alone. When he was governor, he started it all. There and then we have another action governor, Fashola, who came in and also built on this. Today, the House of Assembly has very good legislation on public-private partnership, the PPP law, which is based for 2015. It came in earlier, but there were works that we did on it, so we base it, the baseline is 2015. And this law in itself is so formulated in such a way that for you coming in to do business with the state, your interest is protected. Protected in the sense that you can't bring your money in, so with change of government, and your money will go down the drain. No. You are protected for bringing your money in. And it's because there is a very good law formulated by the House of Assembly to protect the would-be investor in the state.
All right. Thank you very much for that response. Okay, now let's look at Lagos being at the forefront of every form of development in the country. And ICT is not an exception. But it is not a about. Has there been any kind of PPP arrangement with ICT based telecom firms so far that will, in different ways, give opportunities to people of Lagos?
Yeah. Thank you very much for that question. And it's a very good question because everything we do now has technology as a backbone. And I want to tell you joyfully that I think last year or year before, the House did ratify a PPP agreement with an indigenous company to provide fiber duct infrastructure for the entire length of the state. And if you go around, you will see that the work is ongoing. You see that some areas are being dug, some ducts are being, laid all over the state. Basically, it's for ICT. It's going to carry interconnectivity with all the service providers. And one good thing that we caught as a state in that transaction was that all our facilities, the secretariat, the hospital, the local government, where some of these things that will encourage development of ICT are located, will be connected free in that agreement to those facilities. So we are encouraging a lot of that on the part of the government, because we know that going forward, in this country, especially for us in Lagos, there is no alternative. We must do ICT.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Lukman.
This is DG Vision Network.
That was Honorable Saad Ulumo, who was talking to us about the benefits of PPP, that's public-private partnership, and how it can cause the needed development in any nation, plus other matters. On this note, we put a curtain on the show today. If you missed the show, please go to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/DGVisionNetwork, or you go to our website at DGVisionNetwork.com, or better still, you follow us on all our social media handles displayed on your screen. Until I come your way again next week, on behalf of your regular anchor, Baragabi, bye for now. Stay out of trouble. Peace.